We're ready.
Good evening. We're going to bring the November 25th, 2024 Almont Community Schools Board of Education meeting to order at 7:01. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Walton, please.
Mr. Rose. Here. Mr. St. Ange, absent. Mr. Wade, absent. Ms. Frederickson, absent. Mr. Guerrero. Here. Mr. Walton here. Ms. Smith.
Here.
4 members.
Adoption of agenda. Mrs. Van Heltmeyer, any additions or deletions?
No, we're all set. Okay, we're moving on to communications, and this is going to be rater recognition. Mr. Bruno, thank you for being here tonight. Mr. Bruno, our Orchard Primary Principal, is going to be presenting on watchdogs.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having us. Excited to share a little bit about our Watchdog program at Orchard Primary. I know many of you here, including some of our board members, we've been fortunate enough to have you be watchdogs for us, and we're really grateful for that. And I think this is just one of the great examples of some of the amazing parent input and communication and support we have at Orchard Primary that makes us a really great school. So a little bit of background on it. Watchdogs were part of a nationwide program designed to get fathers and father figures into the schools. I think in schools, particularly elementary schools, we're accustomed to seeing a lot of moms and grandmas in the school, which is amazing, but we don't see a lot of father figures there. So this is a nationwide organization that really helps facilitate this, but then each of the schools functions really independently of one another. And OP, we've had it for probably close to 10 years. It is well before my time here, but it's really been a phenomenal program, and we've gone through several iterations of it. And this year, it's really been helping us just add some more programming for our kiddos at the school. So a little bit about our Watchdog program. To become a Watchdog, dads come to a Watchdog kickoff event at the start of the school year. They register, we have them go through a background check. I always do like to share with our dads when they come, as well as any family members who ask, that, as much as we trust and love our dads, we, all of us want to make sure our kids are being kept safe, and they're there to keep our kids safe. So they're always with an OP, adult or staff member there, just like any of our volunteers would be there, because again, at the end of the day, our kids' safety is there. And they're really there to help promote that safety of all of our students, which is a really cool thing of our watchdogs. It really just adds that extra set of eyes being heroes in the hallways. So a day of a watchdog at our school, they come at 8:30 in the morning. They take their picture with their kiddos. You usually can tell whose kid is, or which kid is there with their dad, because you don't even see their dad. You just see a kid kind of jumping through the hallways, so excited that dad is here with them at school that day. And then throughout their day, they kind of go through several different events. It's a really tiny calendar there, but just to talk you through the highlights, they volunteer in their students' classroom. They help lead some STEAM activities in the library, which is one of the big things as we're rolling out some additional STEAM programming this year. Dads have been really, really instrumental in helping us do. And then, of course, supporting at lunch and recess, which if you want to ever feel like a hero, dads, please come and be a watchdog, because you will leave with about 450 new kids who idolize you forever. They'll see dads at the grocery store and be like, "You were the watchdog at my school." And it's just an incredibly cool experience for everybody. So with the classroom support, it's really, as you guys know, being an elementary school teacher is one of the hardest gigs I think that is out there. You are teaching some of our littlest students how to not only read and write and add, but also how to be students. And so having that dad there at the start of the day just help kids get settled, maybe read them a story, do some math facts, just helps get the day off to a really solid start. And again, what a great experience for our kids to get to see dad being part of their education. And then this part I really want to highlight. I spoke to the board a couple months ago about some of our new STEAM program we were rolling out, and this was one of the things I was most excited about. So what we started doing is every month or so we'll rotate through a new STEAM activity, so kids get to experience something different. And every kid over the course of a month will get about a 20-minute block where the watchdog will come down to their classroom. It'll be their teacher's turn for that, and they'll get the kiddos, and they'll come and down to the library and do some kind of STEAM activity. For example, there's these Lego puzzles where they have to, build a bridge or build a maze, depending on the age of the kids. And it really helps drive home that STEAM inquiry process. And I think for dads, it's really, and I'll have Mr. Owen speak to some of, his experience as well. He'll speak much better than I will. But it's really cool for dads to get to see what it's just like being, with a small group of kiddos. And for our kids, again, it's not only just seeing that dad there, but now we're doing something educational. We're really diving into that inquiry process. We're getting another really cool experience, learning about STEAM and just learning how to become an even better student. And then, of course, you can't top recess time. If you're ever just looking for a pick-me-up in the day, come out during one of our recesses when we have a watchdog there, just to see kids like chasing dads around, pushing them on the swings, being a quarterback, playing basketball. It's really an amazing thing, and it really speaks to the community that we have here in Almont, where dads are willing to take a day off of work, come in and spend the day with their kids at school. I don't think you get that in a lot of places, and that's one of the things that makes us special here. Just again, to some of the benefits of this, I think we all wish we lived in a world where every kid had an amazing dad at home or an amazing male role model, but we know that's just not the case. And so for these kids who might not have that at home, to see this additional male figure walking in their hallways and playing with them at recess and leading them through a learning activity, I mean, that's cool. That can really make a difference in a kid's life. Again, that power of supporting that STEAM initiative is really huge. And then, the emphasis on safety. We just live in a world where safety is such an important thing that we always need to keep an extra set of eyes on. So a male father figure who just is there committed to keeping kids safe goes a long way for our kids, and I think gives us just that one more layer of safety. And then I really had a great conversation with one dad a few weeks ago. He said, you hear all these things about what goes on in schools, but then you come here and you just see how amazing it is, and you see how great these teachers are and how much they love and care about our kids. And I think it's just a really cool, eye-opening experience. I love having just parents in our schools, and this is just a really great way to do that. But y'all can hear me talk all you want, and you guys can come to the school and hear me talk, but I want to have Mr. Michael Owen. He's going to share a little bit. He's got a third grade daughter, Miss Riley, at our school, and I'd love to have him share a bit about his experience.
Evening, everyone. My name is Michael Owen. I'm an Almont alum. I've been doing Watchdogs for the last 4 years now. I have to say, whenever my daughter finds out that that's my day, she is through the moon. Dad coming to school is probably better than Christmas. I get to hang out with her. We get to eat lunch together, play at recess together. I get to associate, all her friends that she talks about. Now I know who everybody is. I get to assist the teachers. Sometimes some of the kids, need a little extra help in this department or that. And so it's great to be maybe a different perspective on how to help them learn something. With the STEAM that they introduced this year, it's really great to get a small group of kids and just kind of see how they think and how they interact with each other. Because these are always group projects, build a bridge, build a car, get it from point A to point B. So it's really cool to see the gears turning on their head on, okay, well, how do we make this thing do this thing? And so that's really great. I love coming there. I love, being out at recess for hours, just being literally the champion for all the kids out there. And literally by the end of it, kids are like, are you coming back tomorrow? Because we'd love to have you back tomorrow. And so I just have to say nothing but great things about Watchdogs. And I want to see this, just continue to be successful.
Thanks, Mr. Owen. Appreciate that. Thanks, sir.
Being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I know, Mr. Burrow, we're going to see you later this year. And Mr. Burns, we saw you earlier this year as well. Mr. Walton, I don't know if we saw you. Are you coming this year?
I haven't signed up yet.
I'll send you the link so you can sign up as well. But again, just a great, really big, wonderful program. And we're just really grateful that our community is so on board with supporting our kiddos and that we have a great place to do it at. So thank you all for having us.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno, for being here. Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
This brings us to our first questions and comments from the audience. This is for anything that is pertaining to the agenda. If anybody would like to be recognized in the audience at this time, there will be another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Okay. Any board comments or questions? Okay.
Smith. I move the Board of Education approve the consent agenda as follows. A, approval of the minutes from the October 28th, 2024 regular meeting. B, approval of the minutes from the November 4, 2024 special meeting. C, approval of the minutes from the November 19, 2024 work session.
Support.
Motion and support, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
Ms. Smith? I move the Board of Education approve the bills payable and financial reports as proposed by administration and reviewed by the Finance Committee as follows. General fund total, $153,895.70. School lunch fund, $68,881.44. Student activity fund, $14,295.47. 2014 sinking fund, $27,499.80. 2013 refunding bond, 0. 2016 refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series A refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series B refunding bonds, 0. For a subtotal of $264,572,000.41. ACH wire transactions. Payroll, $864,113.90. EduStaff, $13,181.84. Health Equity, HSA, $33,579.56. Credit card, $19,821.38. Health insurance, $110,133.37. 2013 refunding bond, 0. 2016 refunding bond, 0. 2021 Series A refunding bonds, 0. 2021 Series B refunding bonds, 0. State aid note payments, 0. QZAB Energy, 0. Arbiter Pay, 0. ProCare fees, 0. Magic fees, 0. For a total funds spent, $1,305,402.46. Check numbers listed.
Support.
Motion and support, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Please make sure you take a moment to acknowledge the Orchard Primary, Middle School, High School, and Athletic Student Activity Account Report.
Okay. Superintendent's report. I'm going to begin with the principal reports, starting with the high school from Mr. Spear. Parent-teacher conferences were a success. The data breakdown was similar to last year and the year prior at 35.6% participation. However, the larger sentiment came from families and staff who appreciated that the conferences were held in the gym this time around. This really was a tremendous undertaking from our staff. Primarily our front office staff and even some of our students helped with the setup. We look forward to our spring conferences as well. The high school, they conducted first quarter student town halls with all grades 8 through 12. Mr. Zimmerman and Mr. Spear met with all students by grade level and shared with them great grade trends. This included behavioral trends, huge achievement for students, and student awards. Students created categories themselves and then nominated their peers for awards, which they were recognized at the town halls, and staff also participated. A 10th grade student, Rianne Harwood's conservation art poster, has taken first place in the state of Michigan. This project began in Miss Wright's classroom, and now Rianne is set to compete at the national level. The winner of this contest will be announced at the National Association of Conservation District Conference in Salt Lake City, Utah, this February. We're very proud of her efforts and very thankful for great high school teachers like Miss Wright, who motivate and challenge our students to reach new heights. Congratulations to Rianne, and we wish her the best of luck. Reporting for the middle school from Miss Lewis. Quarter 2 is underway. The 4th through 8th grade students enjoyed an evening of spooky fun at the annual Boo Bash Dance. We had several field trip experiences for AMS students. There was a 5th grade visit to the Henry Ford Museum. 6th grade students visited Chatfield for an ecology field trip. 4th grade students were bank bound, I like that, thanks to Choice One Bank and Lapeer County Community Foundation's Leafs Children's Saving Program. Middle school also had an awesome turnout for parent-teacher student conferences, and the Holiday Rock Shop and Raffle is coming up on December 4th. Thank you to the PTSO for all of their support in our PBIS programming at Almont Middle School. For Mr. Bruno, for the Orchard Primary, November, definitely there was a focus on the value of gratitude, particularly through the Positivity Project. And beyond showing that value to one another, students are also showing that to veterans in honor of Veterans Day. Examples included Mrs. Schwake's class writing letters to veterans, and some of our 3rd grade classes learning about flag folding. Also had some great activities go on this past month. The Title I night was held on November 14th and gave families of students receiving Title I services the opportunity to learn more about the Title I program, as well as some different strategies for supporting their students at home. And then again, parent-teacher conferences, it looks like they were at a 94.7% participation rate, which is outstanding. This month, the students will be participating on Wednesdays in Special Olympics bowling, which has been a great time. 2nd graders also had a field trip to Seven Ponds. And Mr. Bruno and his staff would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. A little bit more news to share. I have some good news to share with everyone. The U.S. News and World Report has released the 2025 Best Elementary Schools and Best Middle Schools, and our Orchard Primary and Almont Middle School made those lists. Through outstanding student achievement, these 2 schools are ranked in the top 40% of the state. Congratulations to our administrators, teachers, and students for their continued hard work. On that note, the U.S. News has not released rankings for high schools yet, so our fingers are crossed. So we could have everyone potentially in that top 40% this year. More breaking news, Officer Michael Retzler has been appointed as our next SRO, so he will be our next school resource officer. Officer Retzler will officially begin after the Christmas break. I would like to thank both Officer Kevin Kowalik and Officer Retzler for stepping up for Almont Community Schools and doing an amazing job for us. These officers have been approachable and helpful to all of our staff, students, and families. Just a friendly reminder, our next board work session is on December 10th at 6 o'clock in the AMS Media Center. These meetings are being live streamed and recorded. Also, our next board meeting, just to, again, another word of note, it's scheduled next for December 18th. It's on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. here in the auditorium. I would also like you to know that I'll be sending a district newsletter out this week. Various updates will be provided in the district newsletter. But also, I can tell you, my teachers, K-12, have bombarded me with photos of student engagement and learning activities, which has been phenomenal. So I'll make sure that I share a lot of pictures with you in the next couple days here. A lot of great things are happening throughout the campus. And last but not least, it is the perfect opportunity for me to extend a heartfelt thank you and happy Thanksgiving to our school community. I hope that everyone has the opportunity to relax, enjoy quality time with family and friends over the next week. It is certainly well deserved. Thank you. Moving on to finance. The Almont Community Schools, in conjunction with the Lapeer ISD and the other local Lapeer County schools, has operated a fiber network since 1995. The fiber network has been used for educational and administrative technology purposes by the school districts in Lapeer County, the Lapeer ISD, and various other governmental and educational entities in Lapeer County. The ISD has served as the owner or operator and fiscal agent of the network, which over time has grown significantly in size, operating capacity, and purpose. The previous lights agreement that was approved in July 2024 and went into effect September 9, 2024 has an addendum with apportioned costs. The memorandum of understanding is attached. After review of the memorandum of understanding showing the 2025 through 2029 apportioned costs, it is my recommendation that the district approves the MOU and moves forward along with the other districts in the ISD to continue with Almont's participation in the lights agreement. Recommended by committee 3-0.
Ms. Smith,
Mr. Walton?
move the Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding, addendum number 1 to the Lights Consortium Agreement that took effect on September 9th, 2024.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
So approval of the 2024 through the 2026 AEA contract. The Board of Education approves the employment contracts of all personnel. The AEA contract expired June 30th, 2024. A copy of the new AEA 2024 through 2026 contract is in the drive. Changes to compensation and benefits are included in the contract. The proposed contract is competitive and appropriate and should thus be approved.
Ms. Smith,
Mr. Walton?
I move the Board of Education approve the AEA contract as presented with copies of the contract to be marked Roman numeral 8E3 and attached to the official minutes of this meeting.
Support.
Motion
Motion and support. Any discussion?
I-
All in favor?
Oh, before you say-
Yeah, do roll.
I just want to make sure, we do have a wage reopener that I do not see listed in the facts. Is that, I just want to make sure that is, we do have a wage reopener for 2025. I don't know. It
I don't
has to
think we have
be,
that.
I just want to bring it to your attention. I didn't want there to be clarification here.
Okay.
We do have a wage reopener only for 2025, 26.
So Ms. Smith,
Mr. Walton?
I will amend my motion to include the wage reopener for the 2025-2026 school year.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion?
Ms. Smith, I just want to say thanks again, Ms. Pham, and everybody else that was involved. I know this was a lot of work. One thing that was unique was pulling in the legal side and making sure that there were a lot of those pieces that were there before, just from a verbiage standpoint and everything that was missed in previous years. And I think from discussions that we've had, that's going to benefit both sides. Probably more so the staff, which is good, so very important. So thank you for that.
And a shout out to Ryan Murray from True for helping us out with that. Thank you, Mr. Wall.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
Approval of sinking fund projects. Policy 6320 purchasing. In the continued efforts to improve our school district's facilities, requests for proposals were submitted for the following work: AHS exhaust fans, AHS fire alarm, AMS gym varsity flooring. Purchases in a single transaction that are in excess of the dollar amount permitted by state statute shall require competitive bids and, whenever possible, have at least 3 such bids for substantiation of purchase and shall require approval of the board prior to purchase. Although the AMS gym floor was not above the threshold that required an RFP, the maintenance and grounds director still obtained bids to ensure due diligence. So for the following, we have the recommendations: thumb cooling and heating for the exhaust fans, $29,260. For the AHS fire panel, the recommendation is for Shoreview Electric, $161,877.12. For the middle school gym floor, the recommendation is for varsity flooring for $23,900.
Ms. Smith,
Mr. Walton?
I move the Board of Education approve the recommended contracts and bids for above projects.
Motion and support. Any discussion?
Shoreview Electric is one of my customers in my business, so I can't vote on this. I'm going to abstain from this one.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Moving on to personnel, approval of new hires. The Board of Education approves all personnel. A resignation has caused us to have to fill the position of varsity cheerleading coach. After a thorough interview process, Mr. Zimmerman has a recommendation, and that's for the varsity cheerleading coach. Discussed and recommended by committee, 3-0.
Mrs. Smith?
Mr. Burrow.
I move that the Board of Education request the GECS fill the varsity cheerleading coach position.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Next, the approval of teacher change in pay. In order to be eligible to advance from one lane on the salary schedule to a higher lane, a teacher must make written proof of the completion of courses and/or degree requirements in the form of an official transcript of credits from the institution from which the credits were earned. Master agreement between the Board of Education and the Almont Education Association. Gina Schwake is moving from BA to a BA plus 18. Discussed and recommended by committee, 3-0.
Mrs. Smith?
Burrow.
I move the Board of Education advance Gina Schwake to the appropriate level of salary schedule in accordance with the provisions outlined in the master agreement between the Board of Education and the Almont Education Association and commend her for her commitment to continue learning.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Moving on to policy, approval of the Neola policy updates. The board adopts bylaws and policies for organization and operation of the board and district. Bylaws and policies may be adopted, amended, and repealed at any meeting of the board, provided the proposed adoption, amendment, or repeal shall have been proposed at a previous board meeting, and once proposed shall have remained on the agenda of each succeeding board meeting until approved or rejected. Bylaw 0131.1. The district's policy service, Neola, has provided the following updated policies. This is the final read. We have policy 2264, non-discrimination on the basis of sex and education, programs or activities, technical correction. Policy 3120.08, employment of personnel for co-curricular, extracurricular activities, revised. Policy 5330.02, opioid antagonists, revised. Policy 5340, student accidents, revised. Policy 5500, student conduct, revised. Policy 7440.03, small unmanned aircraft systems, technical correction. Policy 7540.09, artificial intelligence, new. Policy 8321, criminal justice information security, non-criminal justice agency, revised. Discussed and recommended by committee, 3-0.
Mr. Smith?
Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education move to adopt the policies as listed above. Second.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This will bring us to our second opportunity for questions and comments from the audience. Would anybody like to be recognized in the audience? Okay. Questions and comments from the Board of Education. Mr. Uday.
I just want to go back to Watchdogs and just comment on what the program is. Back when my kids were there, I did it a few times over the years. Matter of fact, the one last time I could have did it, you guys had a pizza sign up, and I missed it, and I could not sign up until the end of May. So that doesn't tell you the commitment from dads. It's amazing. And you are exhausted. So kids today still say, "Oh, I remember you when you were there. We were having lunch." I just want to say thank you again for continuing it. It's huge. I think it set out middle school.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's just awesome. I just want to
Thank you, appreciate that.
Mrs. Smith? I'd just like to comment on, and for the record, I mean, like, those teachers are a big part of our reason that we're getting this top award for the elementary school and the middle school, hopefully the high school coming up too. So I just want to thank all the teachers and staff for everything that they do, because they're a huge part of it, so.
Thank you.
I echo Mr. Burrow's comments. Thank you to all our teachers and administrators and Ms. Bond. Those are very, very high accolades. The other thing I want to comment on was our recent production of Clue. Thank you, Mrs. Myers. It was amazing. And to all the actors and the stage hands, it was thoroughly enjoyable. So thank you to everybody for that. Future agenda items.
Smith,
Mr. Walton,
I move the Board of Education adjourn the November 25th, 2024 regular meeting at 7:31 PM.
Support?
motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for